Hello, happy Sunday. This is Table Talk with Rita, Felleh, Arah, CN founders of Daughters of Sierra Leone. Today happy Sunday, everyone. I want to wish you guys happy Sunday for each and every one of you, from my family to your family. So today we're going to be talking about the struggle of an African widow. So today I have with me my beautiful sister joining me all the way from Nigeria, Sister Faith. Sister Faith, if you're there, can you please introduce yourself, please?
Hello, good evening from this part of the world. So I'm Faith Audu. Um, been a widow for the past 7 years. So I did engineering. I'm an engineer, but currently not working in my field of study. I'm working as a PA and a lease administrator in one of the companies here in Nigeria. So I've been in this journey for quite a while now. I was married for 9 years before I lost my spouse. So I've lost him now for the past 7 years. He died 22nd December 2015. So that's 7 years plus now. So it's been a wonderful journey so far. It's a journey that no one ever prays to um, come into, but once you're there, there's nothing you can do. You have no excuse or you have no option. You are not left with any option. You just face the challenges, the struggles life actually posed at you. So you just catch it, and like that song that says, when you catch L, if you catch L, don't hold it. And if you're going through L, don't stop. So you just keep moving. Um, I really don't like the statement when they say moving on, because it's like moving on to where? So I prefer using the word moving forward. So we're actually moving forward. I'm actually moving forward because there's no option. I have no option. So I'm left to either accept it or not. And since I just have to accept what life throws at me, I take it in good faith. The Bible says, it will not give you a temptation that you cannot overcome. So I just see it as something that if God permits it, then that means I can overcome it. And it's been a journey that I just keep moving forward and, you know, catching life along the way. And that doesn't stop me from smiling.
Right.
Doesn't stop me from laughing. It doesn't stop me from enjoying life. It doesn't stop me from doing the things that I've once planned to do, or have the doesn't stop me from my dream. Fine, it can stagnate it for a while. It can reduce it. It can, might not be a smooth ride. It's now a bump on the way that you just have to, when you say bump on the way, that doesn't make you to stop driving. You don't stop driving, you keep moving
Wow.
forward. Yeah. So you just, at that point, you have to slow down because you cannot drive on a bump with speed. You just have to slow down. So that's how I see widowhood as it's a bump that I just, slow down and continue moving on, continue
Wow,
moving
wow, wow,
forward.
wow.
So
Thank you, Sister Faith, for
you're
having me on
welcome.
today. This
Thank
is very
you.
so. Please, if you're watching, this is Table Talk with Rita Felleh Hara. Please share this live so other people, for Africa, where we all from, watching this thing. We always people go. We've all know someone that have been through this, lost their husband. Today we are focusing on widows. We all have seen people go through that. So like there's some stories um we've heard. You're from Nigeria, and I believe in Sierra Leone. Sometimes some culture or tradition, they will say, oh, if you lost your husband, you have to marry to the brother. Or we've seen
Yes.
situations whereby, when your husband passed away, family members will come and take all the properties, and they don't
Yes.
actually care how those kids are going to go to school, how they're
Mm.
going to survive, what's going to happen to them. So I want us to talk about that, because for me that's a big thing for me, whereby somebody will pass away. This person had a family, has a wife, has a child, and family will just come and take everything away from this person. The person is already going through a worst thing, losing their spouse, and
Yeah.
then taking away what they have worked hard for. So I want
For
us to talk more about that, Sister Faith.
Okay. So, when you talk about the struggles widows face, it actually differs by
Mm,
tribe, by, nations and all things. It differs. So there are some persons that experience um, being forced to be
mhm,
married to their in-laws. That's the younger brother or older brother of their
mhm,
late husband.
mhm,
So yes, they are being forced to do so, and they're also being cut off from the family. Their properties are being taken away from them. There are so many different challenges widows face. There's a challenge, when a widow, sorry, when the husband dies, she automatically becomes a widow. So there are so many rights. Some tribes, in some tribes, there are so many rights you have to perform. There's the right of the shaving of the hair.
mhm.
The hair is the beauty of a woman. So
Right.
when you force a woman to shave her hair, it's like you're taking away her beauty. You're taking
Mm.
away her strength. You know, you're taking
So, Faith,
away
a quick
a whole
question.
lot.
I know we are
Okay,
talking about hair right now. When you
okay.
lost your husband, were you like compelled, or where people was like, you have to shave your hair, or like, oh, you have to do this ritual, or you have to? We've had situations where they said, oh, they wash the dead body and you have to drink the water.
Yes, there are
We had,
situations like that, but
yeah.
fortunately, I didn't experience that. The only thing I had
Okay.
to do was to stay back in for 40 days, 41
Okay.
days. So I
Yes.
did that. So
Mhm.
I didn't go out for 41 days. I was
Right.
indoors, and I was only restricted to just the surroundings around me. I didn't go far away from
Mhm.
home. So if I'm going to church, it just has to be very, very, maybe just like the next street.
Mhm.
So normally you're not even expected to go out at all. That is 41 days, you are expected to stay fully indoors, that you won't come out
Mhm.
of your door, but the world is advancing.
How was
And
the feeling? How was the feeling, Faith, that that day, like you get to have that phone call, or you have to, like, someone has to tell you that your husband is no more. Like, how was that feeling like? Like, how,
okay,
when did you go ahead?
mine is like, if let me just quickly play what happened actually. So
Mm-hmm.
I was actually before the death of my spouse, I had an accident, a fire accident in one of the fuel station here in Nigeria. That was during fuel scarcity at that period, that December, precisely December 1st, 2015. So I had this gas station fuel accident. So I was actually in the hospital when my husband died. He died on the 22nd, and I was still in the hospital. That's from the 1st of December up till that point that he died. But before the accident happened to me, he was sick. He was in and out of the hospital, and we were, trying to manage the sickness, trying to manage him, trying to do a lot of things. So at the point, I was hospitalized. And my husband was also hospitalized. We were both in the hospital, different hospital at different time. So by the time I came out of the hospital, you know, my what I was coming out to meet was a total different thing. So I came out to meet the news that I'd lost my spouse, and man, that's they didn't tell me in time. That day I was forcing the doctor that there's no
Wow.
way I will spend December, that's Christmas, in the
Mm,
hospital, that I'm
hospital.
good enough to go. And he was like, no, I'm not. I said, I must leave, that I can't stay in the hospital when people are celebrating Christmas. So, and I was also conscious of the fact that I want to go and see my husband in the hospital, he was also hospitalized. So that day when they were calling, when okay, when I was discharged that day, they were just sluggish about a whole lot of things. They were dragging things. They were like, okay, I'm not fit to drive. There's somebody coming to
Mm.
drive me and all that. And I was like, no, I'm fine. I'm fit to drive. I can drive. I'm okay and
Wow.
everything because I was eager to go and see him in the hospital. So not knowing that something had happened. So they were trying all their best to just stop me from going out. But there was nothing they could do. So um I had to force them and told them I can drive myself. So I now told them because I was in the hospital. So when I left the hospital, I just went straight to my house and picked these things. I picked these things. I was like, "Hey, we need change of clothes. He will need a lot of things. It's like they've not been taking care of him since I was away." So they were all just looking at me, and everybody, it was later I got to know they were giving themselves signal not to tell me sorry or not to greet me
That
at all. Yes,
wow.
everybody was they were just they kept their cool and they didn't want me
Mm.
to know at all. So when I got to my house, I picked my things, lock up the place. I went back to my parent place. My mom was with me all along, and one of my younger sister, they were with me. So, but immediately we got to my area, I think they signaled people not to that I've not known what is happening, so they didn't
Mhm.
tell me. So, but by the time I got to my parent house, a lot of people were around, and I was like, what's happening? Why is everybody seated? What's
Looking at
happening?
you.
Look, they were all looking at me, and they really they acted that they acted that film so well.
Right.
I'm laughing now, but it wasn't the case
It was
then.
not
So
funny.
yeah, it wasn't. So they were all looking at me. I was like, "Where's my husband?" They said, "Oh, he's in the hospital," and they were like, "Okay." People are with him there, but I saw my dad that they said is with him. My
Was
dad
there.
was around, was there. My husband's younger sister was there, almost everybody. So I was like, then who is with him? And they were like, no, that I shouldn't worry, that I should just calm down, that someone is with him, that they just came home to just change and everything, they will go back.
Right.
So they now sat me down, they were now talking, they were now encouraging me. And I was like, please, what's happening? They said, no, I should calm down, that they were just, trying to calm me down and everything. So that was when they just broke the news. Man,
Wow.
I fell down, I was shattered, I was broken, I
Hmm.
was, it wasn't funny at all. They had
Yeah.
to hold me because, I was coming from, um,
Like a sick
from,
bed. You
yes,
were
and
like you were already dealing with a lot of
a
medical
lot,
issue
exactly. I was,
already,
yes.
and
So
so the
mentally,
last
I
thing
was
that
not
you wanted
ready.
to come to.
So, exactly. So, coming into that, it was as if, it was as if I was going to die that day because
Hmm.
they had to hold me because the shock was just too much. And I'd not healed from my burns and everything. So they were
Exactly.
just holding me so I don't injure myself and everything. But the shock was too much. It wasn't what I was expecting to come
Expecting it
and meet
to
at
come and meet up.
all,
Right.
because it was like pain from pain to pain.
Right.
At times I'll just sit down and imagine how was I able to overcome that
Deal with
because
this.
it
It was a
wasn't a
tough one.
palatable situation. It was a tough one for me. It
Okay.
was a tough one, and I was throughout that night I did not sleep. That
Okay.
night I did not sleep. I was awake for hours in the morning. My mom had to stay with me because I couldn't go back home. I had to stay with my parents. From there, I stayed with them because I was also still healing, from the burns I sustained at that fuel station accident. So then, trying to heal up, and also it was just too much. It was too much for me to take in at the time. It was
Okay.
too much. Yeah,
Sorry.
but I
Just
was able
I
to.
mean, let me just go through some few. Abdulrahman is watching from Virginia. Abdulrahman, thank you for watching. Salu, Thank you as well for your comments. If you're just joining us, please share this live. This is Table Talk with Rita Felleh. Today we're talking about the struggles.
Mm.
It's very hard for me, because I just cannot even imagine this. For those of you that are watching, make I talk and bank Rio. Let me, Sister Faith, permit me to say in our local dialect, which is
Go
broken.
ahead.
Just think about it. Say where you dey date somebody, let them say the
Mm.
person break up with you. How much more say
Mm.
this person you married to this person, you guys are living in the same house,
So,
and then you have to
yes.
lose this person, you can't see this person
And
anymore.
see the journey
you
of no
know
return.
no return at all.
No
You can't see
return.
the person anymore. So we have a lot of people like our sister Faith here. She has to be a mother. She has to be a father to their son. They already had a child, and
Yeah.
so many more widows that are out there. They have to be mother, father.
Father. Yeah.
They're sick or they're not sick. This kid has to go to school. They are
Mm-hmm.
sick. I remember when my husband was living in Africa, and I have one child at that time, and I have to work. I have to take my son to school. To me, I
Mm-hmm.
like it was so exhausting. Like when my husband would call me, he was like, I was like,
And that
babe,
was just temporal. At least you know when
yes,
it
this
will be
was just a
around.
temporary thing, though.
Yeah. So,
So when he
but in a
comes now,
situation where you know that nothing,
like nothing, it will not come back.
nothing.
So like, let's share this life. And I know a lot of people go through this, but they are scared to talk about it.
Yeah.
Our sister has to be, she didn't experience much on the family side, mistreating them, um taking properties and all that. So please, let's share this life. Send your comments if you have any question for our sister while she's here with us. This is real. This is a life. This is a real thing. It's not a fake thing. This is what she went through. So a lot of times we forget about our widows. We forget what they go through. We forget that, okay. And Sister Faye, let me ask this question. There have been some times that when people are widows, and
Mm.
in Africa, we always believe in certain things. Sometimes
Yeah.
people will say, if she's a widow, don't go close to
Mm.
her. If you go close to her, your
Yes,
husband is going to
yes,
die too.
yes.
Is
It's part
that
of the challenge.
real,
Yes,
or they
yes. It's
just say that?
the there are so many things. They are even forced to, there's something you call forced abstinence. You're forced not to eat with your children. There's a situation you are told not to eat in the same plate with your children. Yes.
Why?
And there's
Is there a
also
reason?
it's just it's part of the practices. Like I said earlier, that there are different practices,
Okay.
attached to different tribes.
Culture and tribes.
Yes,
Okay.
and cultures. Yes, so there are different practices attached. So there are there's a tribe, there's a culture that total abstinence is something. The widow is not allowed to eat in the same plate with any family member or the children. They are not
Mm-hmm.
allowed. And the widow is also isolated and restricted, from going into the market, getting to socialize with people. She's completely isolated. They don't allow her to do it. Some, it takes 41 days. Like for me, I told you I was indoors for 41
Yes.
days. There are some persons that it takes up to 1 year. For 1 year, they will be completely isolated. They will not allow them to communicate with the world. You can't go
Well,
to the market. You cannot attend meetings. You can't go for weddings. You can't go for social functions. You naming ceremony, anything at all. You're not allowed to go. So it actually depends on the culture. Some 41 days, some 1 year, some even as long as um, um, the restrictions are being made. And there's also the aspect of being forced to drink the water of the cups is also practiced. And there's
but
also the aspect of,
but
I
wait,
talked
Sister
about the
Faith,
shaving of
not
the
not to
head.
not to even cut you off.
Mm.
Just thinking about it, what about if
It's
that person died with some, like, kind of like, it has a medical issue?
yes,
Then
yeah.
you actually have to
They don't
force
look
to
at
go
it.
to.
To them, they feel that if you die out of that, then that means you're the one that killed your husband.
Really?
Yes, that's the
But no,
culture.
wait, my thing is, Sister Faith. Okay, how these people that are making these laws, that are first
Mm,
people to
mm.
drink the dead cups, the water, after
Water,
they've
yeah.
already, think about it, they're embalming medication into those people's body. Okay, so
Yes.
automatically you're killing this woman, like,
Yes.
slowly, because now this
Mm-hmm.
woman is she's dealing with, has to lose a spouse already.
Yes.
She's already
Yes.
traumatized dealing with that. She doesn't, she's in
Yes.
denial. She doesn't
Yeah.
believe. um for those of us that are watching right now, when I get to know that dealing with that is a very serious, when I lost my mom,
Too.
the trauma, like what you have to go through. So think
Yeah.
about it, you have to lose your other partner, so
Mm-hmm.
then family is pressuring you, you have to drink the water of that. Okay, you have to
Mm-hmm.
shave your head. I
Yeah.
to me, I feel personally it has to be, the wife knows what she's going through. She knows
Mm.
when it's ready for her. If she wants to shave her head, that should be her decision.
Our decision, exactly.
It's not supposed. I've seen like so many people. There was like, okay, when I come back, I shave my hair. I've seen
Mm.
in the
Mm.
U.S. here, someone lost her husband into a big um accident. And
Mm.
she went to Nigeria. They're Nigerian, and she could not. She was so uncomfortable to stay in Nigeria. Family was
Mm.
pointing finger. Everybody was saying
Yeah.
what they have to say, and this
Mm-hmm.
person lost her husband. And then the only thing that you can say is, oh, you killed your husband. you
Mm-hmm.
know I don't think there's any woman that wants to kill her husband, really. If we have
No,
to go on
there's none.
percentage, maybe
No.
2%.
Maybe
This
or
is
less
someone
than, or maybe less than.
less than that. So this
Yeah.
person is actually dealing with, she's thinking, okay, how am I going to be raising these kids by myself? How am I going to
Mm-hmm.
be able to cope?
Yeah.
And you're telling them to drink dead water, like wash the dead body and drink
Mm-hmm.
water.
The
We've had
water
situation where you isolate this woman, depression,
completely.
mental health,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
mental health, and you're forcing this woman to, okay, now, to me, I feel like these are things that we need to put aside. So we're gonna
Mm.
come right back. I think there's a video that we wanted to show you guys. We've talked on the
Mm-hmm.
what's going on. We wanted to see in our side from Sierra Leone. So just give us a few minutes and we're gonna play that video right now. If you're watching, please share this live.
In Sierra Leone, wars, hunger, and diseases have been the major factors that has led to the deaths of many husbands in many homes in different rural communities around Sierra Leone. Women who have lost their husbands are labeled by the world as widows.
I have 27 grandchildren that my late children left with me after they passed away during the Ebola epidemic. I don't have anyone to go to for help. My family members are all dead.
The effect of many women losing their husbands at an early time in their marriages has left massive effect on their living standards and well-being. Those effects have made major trails, especially on widows living in rural communities, as they have limited facilities to support themselves and their families, and the orthodox way of life in many rural surroundings have not made it any easier. In my curiosity to discover how these factors really affect these women, I visited one of the rural communities in the Tonkolele district that received heavy hits during the Ebola epidemic, and over the years they have had limited access to national facilities like electricity, good and clean water facilities, and many other national facilities that every Sierra Leonean is entitled to. Makboke village is a rural community in the northern part of Sierra Leone, Tonkolele district. It is one of the villages that received high hit from the Ebola epidemic in 2014. Almost every family was affected, and many women lost their husbands and children during that period, while others lost their husbands during the 11 years war in Sierra Leone, starting from 1991 and ended in March 2002. These untold and forgotten stories have left those widowed women in the dark to wallow in suffering and pain.
My husband died during the Ebola epidemic, and he left me with 2 children. I was also pregnant at that time. Things has really not been easy for us. My husband's family, they all deserted us. I clear people's farms for pay, so I'll be able to provide for some of our needs at home.
Even though they can hardly raise money for their feedings, Aisatu has been struggling to see her children through school to get a better education.
My first child is in class 6 and the second one is in class 4. Seeing them through school has been difficult for me. I don't have anyone to help me.
Since the Mapoki village is a rural community that is far from what the modern world describes as a civilized society, there are no space for job facilities for residents. Most families engage in farming activities, but in the recent times, it was confirmed that their soil no longer yield great gain, and many residents living from the support of the few third-class families that can at least provide their daily feeding.
These widows are really suffering. In the country today, even those with husband are struggling. Not to talk about those without husband. Things has not been easy for these women. For these women to survive, they often credit from other people, but because they cannot pay back the money they credited, they hide from those that credited them, and that has shown the level at which they are suffering.
Children are left with no parents, and as such, the chances for a better and well-directed future is on the fall for them. Yangbeshe Kagbo lost her 10 children during the Ebola epidemic, and she was left with the responsibility to care for her 27 grandchildren. As an old woman who lost her husband in 1991 and has no paying job, she was unable to provide for the welfare of all the children that were left in her care.
I have 27 grandchildren that my late children left with me after they passed away during the Ebola epidemic. I have been unable to take care of all of them. That's why some of them were taken away from me. Because I have no one to help me, I often beg people to help me with whatever they can.
Many legal rules are overlooked in communities like this, and widows like Yangbeshe suffer in the hands of her deceased husband's family members, who mostly violate her rights by forcefully grabbing the remaining properties from her because she is a woman, thereby going against Section 6 of the Devolution of Estate Act of Sierra Leone, which states that where an estate is survived a spouse but no children or issue, the whole of the estate shall devolve to the surviving spouse.
My late husband's families behaved to me in the way an enemy would. They have been fighting me for the 2 mud houses and other properties my husband left for me. They told me to leave the properties and return to my family home. But at my age, where will I go? Since my husband died, none of his family members have ever bothered to check on us or help us with anything. They also chased me out of my husband's house. Since the death of my husband, I and my husband's families are not in peace. So I have to leave the house and return to my family house to avoid further troubles.
Many women lost their husbands during the Ebola epidemic and were made to join the growing population of widows. These women have been left as single mothers without any help. Ramatu Kabia is also a resident in the Mapoki village and her husband was a victim of the Ebola crisis. She was left with 2 children and a 9-month pregnancy. Because of her sick condition, she is unable to care for her children.
All right, guys, we've all have watched the video, and earlier on we were talking about um, family members collecting property. Sister Faith, we talked about that earlier on.
Yes,
Talked about how
yes,
family members, some of them actually they're the ones of this problem. They actually even kill their own siblings, and they're always pointing
exactly.
fingers at this woman has killed the husband, this
Yeah,
person, and taking all look at
yeah.
the mud house, like you
Mm-hmm.
want to take that from her. Like,
That again.
really,
Ah,
who
ah.
does that? Who does things like this? So now this is
Unfortunately, it
where
happens. Mhm.
this is where now we ask ourselves questions. We tell ourselves, like, we're all, if you're not married or if you're planning to get married, and this is not something like, okay, they say till for better and for worse, till death do you guys part. And this is not something that you are not planning to say, okay, I want to bury my husband in a younger age, or this is what I wanted to go through, or this is that. So think about it during the Ebola. Look at the video that people lose so many people. Look at how many grandkids that this woman has to deal
Yeah,
with. That she has to train these people by themselves. Now, someone the other video, this other person now, family are taking stuff. She's actually she has to do everything that she can.
everything. Yeah,
Everything that she can. Why are some of our in-laws are so wicked? Because that's wickedness. You know why I
yeah,
say
it
that's
is.
wickedness?
Mm-hmm.
Because think about it. We have women in this, like, think about it. If that was your sister, would you do that to your sister?
But do you know the funniest thing is that,
Mhm.
and the most cruel thing is that the shaving of the hair is even actually performed by women.
Are you kidding me?
No, I'm not.
You
It's
know what?
performed by
I
women.
actually watched a
So,
video that I think was in Mercy Johnson. And
mm,
it's a Nigerian home video that someone husband, and they were shaving this woman's hair, and they were telling her you kill your husband.
they
Like,
shave
they
the
were
head, they
just
shave the private parts,
everything. Like,
everything gone, and they are
who does
performed by
that?
women of the culture of that tribe. They are performed by the women. So, and those women are forgetting the fact that one day they will also be in that position.
To me, like, I'm getting very emotional because you know why? First of all, one, as a woman, you should put yourself, it doesn't have to be that it has to be directly happening to you, but as a
Yeah.
woman you should always think about others, because for
Mm-hmm.
you to actually for you to even shave this woman's hair, you're violating
Uh,
her right.
yes.
Okay. And this woman
Yes.
is like, just think about it. For us, for people that are watching, for those of us that has this wicked soul,
Mm.
badats, witchcraft,
Mm.
because for you, for Sidom, you come be and don't lost in man. You want crepey aid. You
Mm.
want for tell am say na him don't kill him man. Whether woman
Mm.
already they deal with so much emotional trauma, She like in mind, she's in denial,
Mm.
in
Mhm.
unbelief. Like, have I actually
Mm.
lost my husband? Because it happened to
Yeah.
me when I lost my
Mhm.
mom.
Mm.
I don't deal with that. I don't deal with that's a one thing that I don't deal with very well. Okay, sometimes if somebody tell me, it takes for me for a while for me to like actually like sink in, and then I was like, okay, actually this person is actually gone, they are not coming anymore. So I'm one of
Yeah.
those type. I don't like to go
No,
to
it's usually
funerals.
like that. It's usually like
Yes.
that.
I don't like going to funerals. I don't like going to anything death, because for me, it just bring a whole womb. You understand? It open up
Mhm.
like a different. It's a There's a way I
Mm.
feel. If anytime I heard that someone died, I feel like, oh, I just get the news like my mom just died. It's been almost 20 years, right? But I still just have
Mm.
that. I just have had this anxiety. I'm feeling somehow like me, my
Mhm.
husband will always tell me like, Ote go say, hey bo, hey bo. That's like our Creole, like you understand, Sarah. They don't know you. I'm like,
Mm. Mm.
like you go do for Nigeria.
Yeah.
I can't believe, oh, like my husband will say like, you keep saying that. I'm like, you just don't understand why.
Understand.
But
Yeah.
then as time goes on, it gets to understand that's how I grieve. That's how I go
Yeah.
through my own stuff. I deal with
Yeah.
situation differently, and we all deal with
Yeah.
things
We all,
differently.
yes,
So
yes,
I feel like
yes.
it's wrong. The part that really kills me is about this person is going through stuff already, and you
Yeah.
are already, they say, you adding fuel to
To
fire,
exactly.
to like
Yeah.
just blow up, like for
That's it.
family members that are waiting. Okay, that my brother is going to die, or my and I'm
Mm.
going to come and take properties. Make una stop all this rubbish.
Mm.
Go
They
and
need
work
to.
for your own. Go and work for your own.
Exactly. Exactly.
Because he has deprived so many young women and young men
Yes.
not to go to school.
Mm-hmm.
They become dropped out because of family members.
Yes.
How many times they go meet you, uncle? Can you pay my school fee? I not get money.
Unfortunately, no, they
I
won't.
can't do it.
They
Because of
won't.
what? Your selfishness.
Mm-hmm.
It's only for that day when your brother die, you'll be crying. Oh, my brother is no more. Hey, this, that. Hey, me. What I want to do? This and that.
Some while they are
After this,
crying, they are
maybe
looking at
you
the
didn't even be
property.
one.
They're looking at the property they want to come and pick,
Yes. Come and
even
collect
while
property.
crying.
Do you
Mm.
realize that this man has a wife and child?
They know
Did you
that,
know
but
that?
they don't want to accept that.
But this is wrong, and like this is happening so much in Africa, especially West Africa.
Yeah,
West Africa. We need to stop all this barbaric, all this tradition that have not done anything for me, or that have not
exactly.
done anything for you. You understand? We have
They will
good
say it's traditional
values.
rights, cultural
Yeah.
rights, and all that.
We have
But the
good
rights
things
and
that
they are barbaric.
barbaric. How could you
Yeah.
save somebody's dead body and tell the person
Mm-hmm.
to drink the water? If it's your
Hmm.
child, would you let your child drink that water? No, you will
They
not
would
do that.
definitely want. Yeah.
But it's always good because it's not your child. You don't care, because if you care about your brother or your any whoever that passed away, you
Mm.
will be like, you know what? It is what it is. He has passed
Mm-hmm.
on.
Yeah.
Let's move on. Let's see
Mm-hmm.
the way for the children. If kids are involved, the children. But we are not
Mm.
focusing on that. We are focusing on things that we should not be doing.
Exactly.
This is 2023. And a lot of women are going through, they are dying in silence.
Silent. Going through a lot of
A lot of
pains.
our youth, the
Pains.
trauma that they
Mm-hmm.
have to go. Like, first of all, you've lost a dad, and then think about it. You can't go to school, you
Can't go to
can't do
school.
things that you want to do, all in the
Yeah.
name of my father's
Mm-hmm.
people.
Mm-hmm. You're isolated completely. You're maltreated. You're discriminated. Even, the funniest thing, even among your friends, they also kind of discriminate you. They kind of stigmatize you as well. I think you're muted, Rita.
Yes,
They,
yes, go ahead.
So they kind of, stigmatize you, they isolate you, they discriminate against you, and they feel that by the time they are still friends with you, your widowhood can rub off on them, and some also will now feel like as if they are still friends with you, all your troubles, all your worries, they'll be the one carrying it. So they have a way of you know going leaving that friendship and leaving you alone. So it's both, you get neglected by both families and friends. So you're struggling emotionally, you're struggling, even your health might also be not be good. And you're struggling with health, you're struggling emotionally, and you also have to deal with families not accepting you, have to deal with friends not accepting you. It's terrible. So I just feel that a lot of people should come out and talk about this. It should be talked about in the church. you know
Mm,
there's
true.
the role of, yeah, there's the role of churches for widows need to really come up, because if the church is not talking about it, then who will be talking about it? If the religious houses are not
Exactly.
talking
The
about it,
sex,
who
yeah,
will
they're
be
not
talking
talking
about it?
about
So
it.
if the religious places are talking about it, they're talking about it in the mosques, they're talking about it in the church, they're talking about it in the traditional places of
But
worship.
Sister Faye, this is where I said earlier
Mm,
on that it's only when they come to do, like, lay the person to rest, everybody
mm.
is there and talking to you and see
Yeah,
how you're
encouraging
doing,
you,
encouraging
exactly.
you, and the
Yes.
Bible said
After
this,
that
and the
day,
Quran said this, and we should
mm,
do this, and God
mm,
that give
that's
all these
all.
things, kini, 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 and it goes on, goes
Yeah,
on, goes on.
yeah.
So now, after everybody has gone to their homes,
Homes, you'll be
okay,
left alone with your
and
kids.
she is actually left alone with those children.
Yeah.
And after that, we don't call. Nobody
Mm-mm.
cares.
Nobody cares again after that.
Nobody
So
cares again. We have learned
you carry your
skills
load
and
by
value.
yourself.
Samuel, thank you so much. Thank you, Samuel. Skills and value. Um, you know, like, nobody actually care. All we
You
care
don't.
about, look, this person, we have lent this person to rest, and he's gone. So
Mm.
we got a message, we got quite a message. So if you're not following skills and value on YouTube, go and follow them as well. By the time we end this broadcast, we'll share up where we want people to go and follow and appreciate them. So, like I was saying, when people died, after they lay them to rest, after we everybody have gone their various home, everybody is still living their life,
Yeah.
nobody cares to call
Nobody.
and say,
Nobody. Yeah.
Sister Mary, how
Only
are you
few,
doing
only
today?
few persons do
But
that,
out of the few, yeah, it's hard. Let's call
It's
it spade a
hard.
spade.
You're
It's
right.
hard.
You're right. It's hard. At
Even
times
your
you'll be
best
the one
friend.
calling. Yes. No, that's what I'm saying. That most of the time your families, it's not only the family, it's also the friends. They stop
Yes,
communicating with you. Some
yes,
outrightly stop communicating with you.
yes,
Outrightly. You don't
yes,
get to hear from them again. And when you try
yes.
to, initiate the contact and everything, you just know from their behavior that
Reaction.
yes, you just know that
And
this
we've
person is
had
not
so many
interested.
things, Sister Faith, that
Yeah.
sometimes, you know, we women, we women, we always preach about women empowerment. We always
Exactly.
preach about women loving each
Each
other.
other.
We
Yeah.
always preach about how we should love ourselves.
It's
We always
mostly
talk
talked
about all
about
those
than
things.
practice.
Charity begins at
At
home.
home. Yeah. They don't
And we
practice it.
tell ourselves, if we are united as women.
Mm.
I remember there's this female artist. She's done quite some good things. Her name is Zainab Sharif. She does
Okay.
a lot of things for women in Sierra Leone. I remember
Okay,
there was a
good.
video that she makes, and she talks about whereby, we should give women leader opportunity.
Mm.
We manage homes.
Yeah.
We do a lot of things at home. We manage home, we manage our husbands, our children. So all she
Yeah.
was asking for, she was just asking for people to actually give opportunities. She was not even saying anything about she wants to be a president. She was not saying
Mm.
anything. But for us Africans, we always look for the bad vibe,
Exactly. You're
the
right
bad
about that.
vibe. We always look about what she's
Mhm.
saying, what he's saying,
Mm.
and then we stick to that.
Yes.
We don't listen to the first and the last words. We just
Mm-hmm.
take things and we start
Yeah.
putting it. Despite
Yeah.
we all have our own, everybody has to support somebody, you know.
Yes.
Everybody has to
Yeah.
belong to someone. But I,
Mm-hmm.
I think like in Africa, we've been, even in Nigeria, in Sierra Leone, in Africa, pretty much, we've been too
Yeah.
corrupt into political things, you know.
Yeah, you're
And
right.
I've worked on major campaigns in the US.
Mm.
Um, I have friends that are not in parties that I am in
Mm.
or campaigns
Okay.
that I'm working on. But guess
Okay.
what? We still talk about things. It should be that
Mm.
way.
But
Everybody.
at times, all those political people, they just use, I'll say they use widows.
Exactly.
They are
Exactly.
not there to help.
No,
They
they
only
don't.
they are not there to help. They are there for their own selfish reasons.
Of
Honestly,
course.
some
Of
of them are
course.
there for their own selfish reasons.
They are
You
not
know,
genuinely,
Genia, exactly. You
genuinely,
get
it's not
fund
there.
for widows and you sideline that fund to yourself, to your own personal use. It's terrible. It shouldn't be done. If
It
you're
is.
getting loans, if you're getting payment, if you're getting money for widows, then use that money for them because
Yes.
widows are really suffering. They are
They are.
suffering. They are
They are.
suffering. A lot of them have quite a number of children. You see, a widow. I know of a lot because I actually have a group on Facebook
Okay.
for widows and widowers. We're about over 3,000 plus members in that group.
Okay. You will share
So
that so that way
okay,
people can start looking into that, because we have quite some people that are passionate about widows.
okay,
Everyone has their field, but because of it's not, they don't talk about it so often. So people,
yeah,
we tend, I'm gonna put myself in it too. We tend to forget
mm,
that people like this exist because
they exist.
we've
Yeah,
never experienced it. So we actually put the blind eyes and say we don't
you're
care,
right.
you know.
Yeah, you're
So, and
right.
these are things that we should consider as women, or as, even we have some men that are very passionate about widows,
Yes,
because a
yeah, there
lot
are a
of
lot
them
of them
actually
as
grew
well.
up
Yeah,
in that
yeah. In
area.
that, exactly. I think most of the time when a man grows up under the training of a widow, he tends to understand the plights of widows more than a man that didn't grow up, in that situation. You get what I'm saying?
Yes.
So when you get that, when you find such men, you see that they are willing to help widows because they understood, and they've also experienced what the widows are experiencing, because when their
Right.
mom was a widow, that if at all she remarried, when while growing up, they grew up with a widow, so they saw the challenges of their mom, they saw the battles they were going through, they saw the discrimination, they saw all the practices that their mom was subjected to. So you see these men, they have that empathy. They have actually experienced that situation, so they tend to be able to assist widows
Mhm.
because they also were trained by a widow themselves. So
Oh,
most
yeah.
times, except in some situations where people just generally just have, that feeling, that empathy, that sympathy for widows. Some don't go, they are not trained by widows, so but they just have that sympathy for widows and they help.
Exactly.
So there are those that actually experienced their mom as a widow, and all the practices, all the things that was done to her, they don't want another human being, another woman to experience such. A widow, most of the time they go through a lot. that poverty, especially poverty, it's something that it's so um it's there. You
It's
are
there.
affected, your living standard is affected, your well-being is affected. You can't you see some, why their husband was alive, the children were attending good schools. But by the time the husband goes, she's either forced to
Drop
stop the
out.
children from, yes, they're either forced to drop out,
Oh
or
yeah,
she'll just
Sister
have to
Faith,
reduce
I
their
have a
standard.
question for you before we
Okay.
like round up.
Okay.
You're an engineer. Um,
Mm,
that's what you read in school, and
yeah.
sometimes again, I've heard so many stories, or sometimes I've seen so many women
Okay.
because of the husband was the only one working or doing
Okay.
something,
Yeah.
and when the husband passed away, the wife doesn't
Yeah.
have no clue what the husband, how to
Yeah.
manage the
Yeah.
business. And
Yeah.
we've seen so many situations whereby
Mm,
most husbands, they kept things on the dark with the wife. So they just
yeah.
said, you just be a housewife.
Wife.
So is there
Yes.
anything or like any information that you would like to share? Because I believe that any woman, like so many times my husband will tell me like, oh, you don't need to
Mm,
work, we do our business together, we work
mm,
together. And sometimes it's like, you don't need to work. I say, babe,
mm,
I need to
mm.
work.
Yeah.
As much as I am tired or
Yeah.
I don't want to do this, but I have to
Mm.
do this,
To
So a
okay.
lot of
Okay.
times, some husbands don't share things with
Yeah.
wives,
With
and
yes.
when he passed away, that's when you get to hear so
Mm.
many
So
stories.
many
He was
stories.
building this
Yeah.
house.
This, that.
He's the one that
Yes.
did
Yes.
this. And so, what do
Yes.
you have to say about that?
Um, the number one, there should be advanced preparation. Death is inevitable. It's inevitable. It can happen to just anybody. So when my husband passed on, as at that time I was not working. You understand? So I wasn't working as at that time. So when he
Right.
passed on, I faced a lot of financial stress. It was so much for me. I faced a lot of financial stress. But as a person, as I am, I'm not lazy. I don't like, sitting down in one place doing nothing. So I went to do a whole lot of things because yes, I had a certificate. I graduated from school with an engineering degree. But as you know, in situations you don't get a job,
Right.
you try to look for job and you can't secure one, so you just forced to do other things that you find your
Right.
hand to do. So as widows, I keep encouraging people that they shouldn't just relax. At a point in my life when I was widow, I had to do taxi. I had to drive a taxi, yes. So
Wow.
I had to drive Uber,
Hmm.
we call it Uber, yeah, we call it
Yeah, we call it
Taxify,
Uber as well.
Uber there as well, yeah. So both, I had to drive a taxi at the time,
Hmm.
and I used it to take care of myself and my child. I did a
Wow.
lot of things. There were so many things I had to learn. I went to learn how to make dress. I
You
went to learn
see?
how to make hair. I went to learn how to
Hmm.
make a whole lot of things. I I was using my time to learn. Any place I see, and I was utilizing
Anything,
free
any
services.
opportunity.
Yes, I was utilizing free skills.
Faith, not
Where
to even cut you off, not to
mm,
even cut you off.
yeah.
For because in Sierra Leone, where I'm from, I like some of our people. This woman is an engineer.
Mm,
She didn't find job on what
mm,
she went to school for,
mm-hmm,
but she was driving Uber. With
mm,
even like with pride because she has a
mm-hmm.
child to feed.
Exactly.
She was making hair. She was
Mm,
doing this, but for una where they watch me, salon people them. You go, you get all this degree. You didn't find a job. Let me
mm.
tell you, if handwork is what you have to do
Please
to
do it.
sustain your family,
Please do it.
do it with pride
With
and
joy, with
joy.
pride. Exactly.
You
Exactly. Do
understand?
it.
Because you know why?
Yeah.
Listening to you talk and
Mm,
see qualification that you have, But
Mm-hmm.
sometimes our people like, I don't they go learn how for do ya, because people the way they go learn how for do ya, they are
Mm-hmm.
low class. Forget
No.
money na
Mm.
money. No money, no the way
Exactly.
dirty.
No, there's no dirty money.
There's no dirty money.
Yes.
If you have to do, if not even puff puff. I remember growing up, my grandma used to tell
Yes.
me when I'm the oldest from my mom. She would tell me like, "Oh, I'm going to learn you how to fry akara, how to do this,
Mm-hmm.
how to do that, fish cake,
At a
this,
point,
that."
I did pap for someone.
Oh,
Yeah, there's
okay.
nothing I can do to just make myself.
Nothing.
Yes,
You are
there's nothing.
you
It's
are
now.
jack
I
of all
recently just
trades.
got a job, all, all trade. I'm master of all. So I recently just got a job. My job is not even up to 2 years.
You see?
So, and I've been widowed for 7 years. So,
Oh,
so imagine all the times that I've been
yes.
without a job. Although I work, I do part-time jobs and all that. It has not really been like the one I'm presently doing.
But that's what we're saying, Sister Faith,
Mm,
that when you walk, just think about it. People that are two, like a
mm,
spouse, right? Like
exactly.
family, the whole family, where husband is bringing income, wife is bringing it.
Yeah.
It's not even
Yeah.
enough.
It's not. So
And
now
then sometimes
it's
when you
just
look
one
at,
person.
yes, it's only one person. So
One
think
person.
about it.
Yeah.
Even
Mm-hmm.
it's two of you guys, you can barely even do it. So think
Mm.
about one person.
One
So she
person.
has to take
Exactly.
up all this job under her belt. She's driving Uber, she's doing this, she's
Mm-hmm.
doing that. So, like, this is what we should be celebrating as African
Mm.
women. You're
Yes.
an African hero right there.
Yes.
Getting to
Thank
see
you.
after losing her husband, like I've
Mm-hmm.
learned so much today that she
Mm-hmm.
was able to, like, okay, I'm an engineer, you just pass
Mm-hmm.
engineer.
Ah,
But
no,
she
no.
was doing so many odd
Yes. A
jobs
lot.
to
Yeah,
make
a lot.
sure her child was in
Mm-hmm.
school. She
Yes.
was still doing what she has to do, make sure that child
Mm-hmm.
doesn't lack.
Mm-hmm.
We've seen so many people after the husband died in the city, they will pack and go to the village and go and stay there. All your potential, everything just
Just
died.
yes. Do you know the funniest thing is that when my husband died, where we were living, it's quite far away from the city per se.
Right.
So after he died, because the transition process, like I said, I was also hospitalized at that point. So I went to stay with my parents, which were more living in the city part of line. You understand? So, and because of that, I had to lock up my place and stayed with my parents for a while. It was when
Mhm.
I was with my parents, I started doing Uber. I started doing a whole lot of things, trying to
Mm.
make sure I'm able to take care of my child and myself. And some people say it's just one child. I had to step him down education wise. That the school he was attending, I couldn't afford it. I had to change the school to a lower one that I could afford. You
Yes.
understand? So I had to, there are so many decisions I had to take. I was not lazy myself. I went to be learning a whole lot of things so that when
See?
somebody say, Faith, do you know how to do this thing? I'll say, yes, I can do it.
See? So
And
like
I'll
you
do
were
it
not
and I'll get
limiting
paid.
yourself. You were not
Exactly.
limiting yourself like, oh,
No,
I
no,
can't
no,
do this.
no,
Oh,
no, no,
now my
no, no.
husband,
There's nothing you will ask me that will say I can't do.
you
There's
see.
nothing you will
But
ask
then,
me
and
that
then
I'll
the
tell you
other
I
thing
can't
again,
do.
Sister Faye, we thank God for your son that
Yeah.
he understand what you were going
Yes. But
through.
now he's enjoying himself now because at the point I had to put him with my parents. He was
Mm-hmm.
alone with my parents and I had to stay on my own to, also
To
struggle. So
figure it
but now,
out.
yes, but now with the good job that I have, he's now with me, he's now in a better school, you understand?
See?
So things are much more far better than it was before. And if I had not, put myself out there to be determined to make it, I won't have been where I am presently. So a lot of people, once situation happens, they try to, draw back. And they just feel that the whole world is gone. They'll feel depressed and they'll just feel that they cannot achieve anything again in life. No, you can achieve quite a number. In short, it is an opportunity because now nobody is telling you don't do this, don't do that, don't go out, don't, you understand, you don't need to take excuse from someone that my husband, I need to go out tomorrow. I'm going for this thing. Now you have all the time to yourself. So you don't have an excuse not to be effective with what you're doing. You're going out there, you're walking, you're doing things. Anybody looking for somebody to do things for them, put yourself out there. Even if you can't do it directly, get somebody to do it. You also have a percentage from that job. You understand? So
Hmm.
you shouldn't neglect yourself. You shouldn't restrict yourself that, oh, this is the only thing I can do. Oh, I cannot do this. Oh, I'm too tush. I'm too. Even when people come into my taxi and they'll be like, ah, this fine
See,
girl, now
see,
they
babe,
drive.
see, babe.
See, babe. See, babe, when they drive taxi, you understand? And I don't
Yes.
care.
You know,
I
it's
don't
so
care.
funny. It's so funny sometimes how people, because of how the society
Yeah.
had made things to be, oh, a woman cannot do this, a woman can't do
Yes,
this, and this
yes,
is for only
yes,
this person. So,
yes.
like, what message do you want to pass to other widows out
Mm,
there that have not gotten it? They are feeling depressed. They're feeling like, oh, my husband was doing this. I know it's a very, very difficult situation, but
mm,
it's no more. You have to face
exactly.
life, and if
Yes.
a child or a kids are involved, you have to make sure you give these kids the best
The
in life,
best.
the
Exactly.
best in
Exactly.
life. And you're
Yes.
playing a
Yes.
mom role, you're playing a dad role, you're playing
Mm,
auntie, uncle role.
exactly.
So what
Yeah.
message would you want to send to them, and for your social media handles? And I believe you guys have a Facebook
Yes, we do.
platform that
Yes.
for those we have widows in Sierra Leone, or for anywhere you're watching from, Ghana, every
Mm,
African country. If you want to be with other widows, and you guys will be in that community as well, for you to
yeah.
share all those information.
Yeah. So I'll just tell them, don't limit yourself. Don't think that life is over. You are not limited by any limiting force except you yourself limit yourself. So put yourself out there. What has happened. Death is inevitable. So it's now for you to put yourself out and achieve the best that you can. You can get support from your families and friends. Don't sideline yourself and feel that no, nobody loves me, nobody cares for you. There are a quite number of people that actually do care. So try to reach out to those people. Let them know what you're going through, because there are sometimes during in life, even up to, is it this month or last month, somebody still sent me money, and I was like, oh wow, I was so surprised. I was shocked because it was someone I wasn't expecting, and this person had my account details and sent something to me. So I was so excited. So don't, because people are encouraged when they see that you are not neglecting yourself, when they see that you're also putting
You
yourself
have to
out there
share.
to, yes, when they see that you're strong, they see that you're doing things, they see that you are not lazy, because some people actually hide under this covering of widowhood. They hide underneath by being lazy. You understand? So some people are actually lazy. They don't want to do anything. So you shouldn't be lazy. Go out there to do whatsoever. Like the video we watched, we saw these people trying to, try to get things done. That woman was explaining a lot of things that she was doing to make sure that
And
she has, yes, she earns something to take care of her kids. So don't relax. I would say don't relax. Don't allow the situation to weigh you down and feel that you cannot do things. Get a job. Be encouraged. Go out there. Do things. Learn. Learn a new skill. If you have a skill, you can reskill yourself. You can advance. Go. It's time for you to also go to school. Don't feel that, oh, the school is over for you. Go to school as well. Anything that you need to learn to put yourself out there, to be able to get what you need, please go ahead and do it. Don't allow the situation of life just put you down and not being able to do what you want. When you are down, go to your fellowship, go to your church, go to your mosques, interact with people. Don't live an isolated life, because when you live an isolated life, that is where depression, depression thrives when you isolate yourself. Depression will be happy to have you, because the depression state will feel that it will see that, oh, she's not willing to put herself out there. So you get depressed with time. So don't allow depression. It's normal for depression to come. It's normal. We all face our struggles, you know in various ways. There are so different struggles, there are different challenges. No widow faces the same thing. We all face our challenges, our struggles differently. So whatsoever challenge that is being posed to you, whatsoever struggle that is being posed to you, sit down, think about it. How can you come out of it? How can you walk yourself through it? And don't, like I said, don't sideline yourself. Put yourself out there to speak with family, speak with friends, join groups, go to places that will make you, that will make you have fun. It's not the time to stop, having fun. Although there are some cultures that will say, okay, at a particular time, don't go out, don't do this. For 41 days, I was indoor. After 41 days, I was already out there doing things and making life. And if I don't tell you I'm not a widow, you can never know I'm a widow. You can
True.
never know. If I don't tell you, you can never know. Or if someone else don't tell you, you can
Hmm.
never know. So that's just it. Don't wear
Don't
that
put it on your
widowhood.
face.
Don't put
Don't
it on your
just.
face. Don't wear it as a robe, as a cloth. No, you don't need to. Look good, because some people, you just see it written all over them. And
Yes.
when you see someone that is not ready to come out, you would not be able to assist the person. But when you see that, oh, this person is ready to do something, she's only just being challenged in this situation or the other, you see that people will want to assist you. People want to help you. But in the situation where they're helping you and you are using your character, you're using your laziness, you're using your nonchalant attitude to discourage them, it will not be good. So try as much as possible to be happy, live a joyful life, live a fulfilled life. That dream, that goal that you want to achieve, go ahead to achieve it. If you want to travel, start preparing money, start saving money, go for that trip that you want to go to. I'm dreaming about going for a lot of trip. I'm praying that God
Yes, it will
blesses
happen
me.
in Jesus' name.
So amen, amen.
It
So
will
put
happen.
yourself out there, go enjoy life. There's life after death. What has happened. You cannot change it. You can't bring back the lost person. You can't change it. So now is for you to now live the life, because your spouse will be happy seeing you living a good life.
Of
They'll be
course.
happy. They'll where they are not completely gone. They are seeing what is happening. They are
Yeah.
definitely seeing. So when they say, "Oh, my wife is still, she's still succeeding," people at times, they look at themselves that, no, I shouldn't have fun because it might not be happy that I'm going out, I'm laughing. No, they want you to be happy. As take that, accept that this person wants you to be happy. This person wants you to enjoy life. This person wants you to be fulfilled, wants the kids as well to be fulfilled, because they'll be happy when they see that, oh, their son is doing well, oh, their son finally graduated regardless of the situation, their daughter finally graduated regardless of the situation, oh, they are married, oh, they have kids now, oh, even in debt they are grandparents, you understand? So
You know,
they
you
want to
know what you
say,
said just now just
mm,
actually I know a widow. Um she's in the US here. The husband
okay,
passed away 13 years back.
mm,
And both of this woman, the husband was a doctor, medical doctor.
mm,
And when he passed on, my oldest child is a godfather to this man. And
wow,
when he passed away, everything was like, so he has two girls. So he
mm.
always sees, like, Nigerians, una like boys, well. So he
Exactly.
sees this like, okay, my wife didn't have boys, so my
Mm,
reunion that is married to another Nigerian, she's having
yeah,
boys. So he just key into that. This man passed away, but both
mm,
of this woman kids, they are in medical school, and
yeah,
where you felt like um in that whole classroom, she'll probably be the only black person there. And people was like, how can she be a surgeon? She's
Mhm.
black. You know,
Mhm.
how is she there?
You
People
are.
question things, right? But she's there.
Yes.
And up
Mhm.
to now that I'm telling you, this auntie is not married.
Wow.
They have a business, a medical business here, and she just
Mhm.
focused on that. She puts all her
That's it.
energy.
Just put
When you talk about
exactly.
pretty, when you talk about a go-getter and
Mhm.
everything, when
She's
the husband died, the same things that we're talking about, family was like, she has to go and do this.
yeah.
She didn't even near Mutala Airport. You know, they did autopsy, they do biopsy,
mm.
they do all kind of things, you
Then
know,
imagine.
and this woman was like paranoid. She was going through, but guess what? The end of the day,
Mm.
now when the oldest daughter she graduated from UCLA,
Mhm.
um very good school here in Los Angeles.
Wow.
And when she graduates, all of her dad's friends were there. So I was honored to she asked me to speak on the event, you know. So
Okay.
I was there. I see this girl growing up, getting to braid her hair,
That's
and getting to
it.
see like we have a
That's
doctor in the
it.
house. So for me,
Yes.
that was a big thing. These are messages,
Yes.
these are success stories that we want to
Mhm.
be in. So what draw my
Yes.
memory, like you're talking about, don't give up. Some of people wear the PT robe and like sad,
Yes.
depressed. Is she living her
Mm.
life to the fullest? Yes, she is. Is she
Definitely.
doing what she wants to do? She is doing what she wants
Yes.
to do.
That's it.
But the fact that she makes sure what this man wants to see her kids become,
They are
she
becoming it.
has done it all. And
That's
so that's
it.
that's the crown. And so now the last thing
Yeah.
she will be looking forward to after med school, after all those things, now her
Mhm.
kids like walking her two girls down the
You
aisle.
see?
So
That's
they
it.
can do it. So it's been so many success
Yes.
stories. But a lot of
Yeah.
times, as soon as spouse is gone, we wear this garments. We don't want to do
Yeah.
anything. I'm so
Pity
sad. I'm so depressed.
party.
No depression. Like you can be
mm.
depressed, you can feel a certain way, but then you have to wake up. There are kids involved. You
Yes.
have to do what you have to
Yes.
do.
Yes.
Now
Yes.
there's no
And
father anymore. You are the father,
yes.
you are the mother.
Yes.
So don't give up
Yes.
on yourself. Don't
Don't.
don't just tell yourself, I can't do this. Oh, and because
Mm-mm.
then nah, I can't do that. He doesn't want that. He
Yeah,
wants you
exactly.
to see you grow. He doesn't
Yes.
want because he's dead. You have to be
Then
buried with him. They don't
mm-mm.
want that. Like you
No,
just
they don't. They don't want
they
that.
don't
They
want
want
that.
you to continue to, to move forward ahead of and continue that plan, that dream. While you were married, you both usually talk about a lot of things. We want to do this, we want to do that. They are happy where they are when they see you fulfilling such dreams. So don't, be full of love, share love, be smile, achieve a whole lot of things, and also cherish his memory. There are different ways you can cherish their memories. Some
Mhm.
people start NGO, some people they do a lot of things to cherish their late spouse memories. Some maybe yearly they remember the death of their spouse. They go out with their kids. They a lot of things. So anything that will make you to be happy, that will make you to cherish his memories, please do it. And
Mm.
don't hold back. Do what makes like for me, people like Faith, yeah, by now you're supposed to move on now. And I'm like, move on from where to where?
I exactly.
From where to where? I was not left with any choice. I have to continue living life. But that doesn't stop me that yearly, on my Facebook page, you will see me. I will celebrate my husband's birthday. I will
Oh,
celebrate his death birthday. And
anniversary.
that doesn't mean that shouldn't stop you from even getting married. Like the group, the Facebook I have is more of a dating group for widows and widowers. We've
Hmm.
produced two couples from that group.
Wow.
Yes, two couples. They met in that group. They got married.
Hmm.
So that shouldn't be the fact that you are widowed doesn't mean that you can't continue, you can't love again. Be open to love. You can accept um love again. You can be loved and also, give out that love. So some people just feel that, no, they can't get married again, they are depressed, they can't do anything. No, please live your life, enjoy your life. Why cherishing his memories? So the fact that I'm posting my husband's birthday, posting his death day, doesn't mean that I'm still depressed. Doesn't mean that I'm not moving forward.
Right.
Doesn't mean that I'm not moving on. No, I have no choice. I have to keep moving forward. So, but all those things are the way I cherish his memories, the
Exactly.
way I celebrate his memories. So,
Yeah.
posting his picture doesn't mean that I'm still stuck in pain, or I'm still stuck in that, in that situation, that,
And that
that
uh,
agony, that
is
storm, that
mm,
pain. No, it doesn't mean that I'm still stuck there. I'm just moving forward. Like the dream I had when I didn't know, because before my husband died, I had a dream, and in that dream I saw him moving. He was just moving, and I
mm,
was trying to catch up with him, and I
was
woke up. So it was after they told me he had died that I remember that
that
that dream came alive. So I was like, oh, so he had moved,
mm,
and I was trying to catch up with him, but I couldn't. So
could
I didn't know that that was a situation telling me that, oh, he has gone, that I
mm,
should continue moving forward. You
like a
understand?
confirmation.
So yeah, so it's even some people say they dream, they do this thing. Yes, I also had my own dreams, and in my dreams, you tell me, go ahead and do the things you need to do.
Mm,
You understand? So
yes.
when you experience such things, don't need to limit yourself again. The person has died, and we shouldn't leave out the widowers. They are also going through what the widows are going through as
Mm.
well. You'll be
Exactly
surprised
what
that
do we
even
need to do? We'll do another broadcast where we'll
okay,
bring widowers as
okay,
because a lot of times that I think I've shared with you before that
yeah,
like when um they lost their spouse, they're easy
mm,
to move on. They
yeah,
jump into every other given opportunity.
but
It's
yeah,
like when I talk to you today, that just cleared my mind. Like, oh no, they actually
mm,
go through a lot. So I never thought
mm.
that they go through
Oh,
that.
they do, they
Because
do,
I
they
lost
do.
when I lost my mom, my dad moved on. So I thought
Mm,
that was a no, but then I get to see that, oh
mm.
wow, they actually go through
Yes, they
things
go
like this.
through. Yeah,
So
yeah, they do.
do another session with
That
we'll
would be
really
great.
bring them because most of the
Yeah.
times, we women, we are the ones like, we know we are
Yeah,
going
yeah.
through like, this
Exactly,
one,
exactly,
so
exactly.
I know like time has far gone.
Okay. So,
Zainab, definitely we go
okay.
buy for cool. Like Zainab is saying that we should buy more gari, more put more for house. We'll buy more gari.
Happy.
Size, thank you so much. And skills and value, thank you so much for all of you that have sent all your messages. We can't read it all. Time is far gone. And
Yeah,
we really, really appreciate you guys. So we're gonna have our sister Faith to share all our social media handles where you can find her and
yeah.
group that she's in, so she can share that before we draw the curtain.
Okay, so you can follow me. My name is Faith Audu. So most of my social media as social handle as that name, Faith Audu. My Instagram. Then for the widows group that I have, it's widowers dating group, called WID,
Maybe I did.
with dating group. So we have a lot of widows and widowers in that group. They come together and we talk about our experiences. We talk about life generally, and they also meet. We have two couples from that group. And the group is just less than 3 years old, and we have already produced two couples. So you can continue to live life again after death. So you can join my handles, Faith Audu, Twitter, Facebook. Once you type Faith Audu, you see I'll pop up. Um, for the widowers group, just go to just type widowers and widow and widowers dating group. So once you type it, you see that popping up as well. So I'm also admin to some other widow and widowers group. I'm also a member of other groups. So by the time you join that my group, and you'll see other groups as well that you can join. There are a whole lot. You just know that you are not alone. If you're a widow out there, you are not alone. If you're a widower out there, you are not alone. A lot of people are going through the challenges you're going through. A lot of people are going through the struggles you are going through. So you, by the time you join the groups, you see that you are not alone, and you feel appreciated, you feel welcome, you feel that yes, this life is not you are not the only one living as a widow or as a widower. So please try as much as possible to follow me on all my social handles. You can, my name, just use my name, Faith Aldo, and you'll be able to get me on all the social handles. Then for the widows group, just widows and widowers dating group. So just follow it. And what else? I would just also want to advise people. If you know any widow out there or any widower, try as much as possible to help them. They need your financial support. They need your moral support. They need encouragement from you. Please don't sideline them. Don't discriminate against them, don't stigmatize them, don't maltreat them. If you can get them jobs, they need jobs, get them. If it's something you can get them, empower them, they need empowerment. Try to do a lot of things for them, so as to because they most of them are not they're not working, or were not working when when they lost their spouse. So they are faced with a lot of financial challenges. So if you can help them to provide something, if you can help them financially, or help them to secure a job, or to secure a career, it will help them a lot. So try as much as possible to do what you can do for them, encourage them, um, do the things that you know that you can afford, and God will bless you, because there's actually blessings attached when you bless a widow. You will also be blessed. That it's scriptural. So once you bless a widow, automatically you will be blessed. God is so passionate about widows, to the extent that he said in a particular passage of the Bible, he said he's ready to kill for a widow. That's to tell you how passionate God is. So if God can be passionate for widows, then you, as a human being, you should also try as much as possible to do your best, play your part, be good, be nice to widows, treat them well, help them, encourage them, empower them financially. The churches, the religious places, please play your role. We have a role to play in order to, all these struggles, all these challenges, all these widow rights and practices that are being practiced. We have a role to play to abolish them all completely, because they are barbaric. They are things that a human being shouldn't go through. So there's a role for the church, there's a role for religious places, there's a role for women in the society, women that as group, we're trying to say, okay, women empowering women. This
Right.
is where you can empower a woman
Where you can
by,
show yourself.
yes, yes, come out, to end this discrimination against widows. It's a big thing that needs to be, taken. We need to consciously do it, because it's a concern now that needs to be taken care of. Then we there's a role for families, friends. Try the fact that some widow is not contagious. For the fact that somebody is widowed cannot, and being your friend cannot make you to be a widow
Yes.
or a widower. It's not contagious. It's not cough that when you cough, you pass it on to someone, or it's not Ebola. It's not
HIV.
it's not
HIV.
HIV. So it's not contagious. You can't contact widowhood by being friends, with a widow. You can't contact widowhood by that. It's not contagious. So you're helping a widow, we go a long way. God will definitely bless you. You cannot go unblessed
Mm.
if you help a widow, if you help a widower, if you help their children. help them. They need that help. A lot of them are out of school because their dad is no more, because their mom cannot, only her cannot, only her can't carry the
Body.
responsibilities. The burden is too
Mhm.
much for just one person to bear. If it's a child out of the children she has, pick one child, educate that child. L- be happy that, oh, it was you that God used to be able for
They
that child to be able
bless.
to go back to school, to get blessed. So you just start looking for widows now and widowers now, and start helping them and start blessing them, and you will see that God
Mhm.
is definitely going to bless you in return. There's no way that you will not be
Amen.
blessed. If you bless the widow, there's no way you cannot be blessed. God will
Amen.
definitely, you would, it's not a reward that you will receive in heaven. You will start receiving your reward here on earth.
In earth.
Yes, you start receiving it. So please help, try as much as possible to do what you can do. Then also advanced preparation, please. People used to feel that when they start prepare when they start writing wills or testaments, that means they want to kill their husband, or that means their husband want to die. Please, no. Try as much as possible to encourage your spouse to have their will written down. Anybody from 40 years old should have a will written down. That's what you call advanced preparation for the inevitable, so that in case situations happen, your children, your wife, your spouse, either male or female, that if you are married as a woman, your husband will not be in a situation that they can't continue living life, or your wife, or whatsoever the case may be. Try as much as possible to prepare in advance. Counseling, counsel widows, counsel widowers. They need a lot of counseling, and they also need visitation. It's not that day that they are doing the burial that you should just go and visit them. Try as intentionally visit, spend time with them. They need that. They want to see their families, they want to see their friends around them. Try as much as possible to visit them. They need that. And also establish vocational centers. A lot of widows, they are not skilled at all. They are not skilled. So once they are skilled, they will be able to use that skill to help themselves. Try as much as possible to, if you have it in your means to establish vocational centers, please do it. And educational system, try as much as possible to do it. Information that widows will need, because when you are not informed, you are deformed, because information is power. Information is key. A lot of people, by the time they become widow, they don't know what to do. They actually don't know what to do. So, but when they see people counseling them, when I became widowed, the first week, the first month or so, there was someone that was coming around. A lady was coming around to encourage me. She was praying along with me. She was, reading the Bible with me, sharing the Word of God with me. Such things, you can pick a widow and do things like that to her. They need encouragement, they need your counseling, they need you to be there for them. It's not the time that you will now sideline her, it's not the time that you will now discriminate her, because she's already um the pains of widowhood. There are different pains in life. They talk about the toothache pain, they talk about birth pain. The death of a spouse is a pain that you cannot, you can't quantify it. It's so painful that it can actually cause the death of that spouse. So that's how painful death can be. So they're already going through pain. So don't put in more burden to them by, sidelining them, by stigmatizing against them, by discriminating against them, by maltreating them. They need your love. They need your care. They need you to give them that love. Don't just do it one day and that's all. No, please show them love, show them that you care. Let them know, not just talking about it, practicalize it. Let them feel loved by the things you give, by you don't need to. It's not all about money, money, money. There are so many ways you can help someone. I already said that. Empower them. get established centers that they can be empowered. So many ways. And also try to, the churches, you need to play a role for widows. You need to play a role. You need to play a role. The role of women groups can also not be overemphasized. Women groups, please come up and help your fellow sisters. If you're
Right.
talking about bond, you are talking about sisterhood. This is one sisterhood that needs to be taken care of. The neglect is much. The
Mm.
neglect is much. Please, let's end this discrimination. Let's end the stigmatization against widows. And all those barbaric acts, all the practices should be completely abolished. There are a lot of cultural practices that are being abolished. Widowhood rights and practices should be part of the things that should be abolished. And the country itself can also play a role. The I don't know how I'll put it. I mean, the what I'm trying to say is that the people in authorities should also
Right.
consciously
Yeah. Yeah.
create situations that will help widows. There are a lot of NGOs. Some NGOs are not really doing the work they are supposed to be doing. They collect money and they sideline it. They collect the money and they use it for their personal use. Please, um, look at all those NGOs, check them out. Which one is actually doing what they should be doing? Not just to just give a cup of rice to one widow, snap her pictures and post and say, oh, you've given her something. No, is
Really?
she is
People actually do that though?
you said what?
I said people actually do that. Like,
Yes, they do that. So they'll just take a picture of widows and you think they are helping them. They are not. It's just that they'll just snap the picture and they'll post it and share it on their social media that they are helping widows. No, by the time they get let me say they might get 100% of money, the widows might only get like 30% of out of that money. The rest
yeah,
70% is to their pocket.
hey, like, just talking about it alone, like,
Mm.
many are called, but few are
If you
chosen.
are choosing, yeah,
If you know that it's not your calling, that's why I tell people every
exactly.
day, look for your niche and see
Mm,
passionate about. If
yeah,
you know you are not passionate,